Good morning, everybody. Welcome to today's devotion for March 10th. It's titled Broken to be Shared, and the Bible reading is from Luke chapter 9, verse 13. No, it's Luke chapter 9, verses 11 to 17. But the crowds found out where he was going, and they followed him. He welcomed them and taught them about the kingdom of God, and he healed those who were sick. Late in the afternoon, the 12 disciples came to him and said, "Send the crowds away to the nearby villages and farms so they can find food and lodging for the night. There is nothing to eat here in this remote place." But Jesus said, "You feed them." "But we only have 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish," they answered. "Or are you expecting us to go and buy enough food for this whole crowd?" For there were about 5,000 men there. Jesus replied, "Tell them to sit down in groups of about 50 each." So the people all sat down. Jesus took the 5 loaves and 2 fish, looked up toward heaven, and blessed them. Then, breaking the loaves into pieces, he kept giving the bread and fish to the disciples so they could distribute it to the people. They all ate as much as they wanted, and afterward, the disciples picked up 12 baskets of leftovers. We met every Thursday after he lost his wife in a car accident. Sometimes he came with questions to which no answers exist. Sometimes he came with memories he wanted to relive. Over time, he accepted that even though the accident was a result of the brokenness in our world, God could work in the midst of it. A few years later, he taught a class at our church about grief and how to lament well. Soon, he became our go-to guide for people experiencing loss. Sometimes it's when we don't feel like we have anything to offer that God takes our not enough and makes it more than enough. Jesus told his disciples to give the people something to eat. They protested that there was nothing to give. Jesus multiplied their meager supplies and then turned back to the disciples and gave them the bread as if to say, "I meant it. You give them something to eat." Christ will do the miraculous, but he often chooses to involve us. Jesus says to us, "Place who you are and what you have in my hands. Your broken life, your story, your frailty and your failure, your pain and your suffering. Put it in my hands. You'll be surprised what I can do with it." Jesus knows that out of our emptiness, he can bring fullness. Out of our weakness, he can reveal his strength. What brokenness have you experienced? What would it look like to offer that experience to Jesus and ask him to bring life to others from it? Thank you for joining me for today's devotion, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.